Welcome to the 61st video in our series about Unix tools. In the previous video, I showed you how to do line-based block delete, copy, and move in command mode. In this video, I'll show you some column-based block delete, copy, and move instead of line-based. You can still set bookmarks, and as you saw in the last video, when you set a bookmark in command mode, it remembers the column, not just the line number. So we're still going to set some bookmarks. But let's try something easy first. Let's do some deletes that aren't the whole line. So what would we do? Let's say we want to find the word character. There's a nice search. There it is. I don't want that word. So how do I delete that word? We already know DW will delete up to the punctuation. We could do D uppercase W, and it would take out everything to the colon, including the colon. And if we said just Shift D, it takes out the whole line. But what you don't know, or you may not remember, is all those deletes, the text is still saved. And I can go somewhere else. Let's say I move here, and I can do P. And it pasted it, because when you deleted it, it was put in the clipboard. And you notice it didn't paste the whole line. Because, excuse me, I'm having a little trouble talking and thinking at the same time. So where were we? We were on character. Because we did deletes that weren't DD, they weren't entire lines, no new line went into the clipboard, and so when we paste, it knows, hey, this is not a whole line, so paste right here at this cursor position instead of at the beginning of the line. So let's try something else. Let's come up here and do something a little bit better. If we go here and we say D right parentheses, you notice it took out the whole sentence. It's a little ugly. Let's undo that. I should have moved to this position first. And then if I said D right parentheses, it looks a little better. And now if I go somewhere else and I type, I'll go here, I'll type P, and you'll see it'll come after the letter D. And if I type Shift P, it comes before the letter D. Right? And since we did yank with the delete, we did get the end of line, it has an end of line in here. How do you learn this stuff? You have to practice it on some file you don't really care about, or make a backup first. But let's play around. Okay, let's come up here and say, Let's say I use the Shift D right here on this spot. We remember Shift D says just delete the rest of the line. Boom. And then I could come down here and say you can, and then do a P. Boom, and there it is. Looks pretty good, except we got two spaces. So I really should have done that. But look what happened. I'm pressing P and it's gone. Let's go back. And this is what burns a lot of people. It causes a lot of trouble for people. We were here, and when I did this X to get rid of the space and then paste, it pastes the space back. Each time you delete, boom, it wipes out the clipboard. So let's undo that a little bit. So I was here, I typed that in, and then you can see I'm stuck. So you need to be careful. If you do something really stupid, you'll have trouble. But I know you wouldn't do that, would you? Okay, let's try something. Instead of words or sentences, let's get some characters. Okay, let's do a 3x. And then if we come down here and we do Shift P, we should get FOR delete. And we do. And then let me show you what happened last time that we had our disaster. We did a 3x, and then we came down here where we wanted to be, and we said Shift A, and then we kind of changed our mind, and then we put in a space, and then we scanned. Then we said, no, I don't want the space. That X where I deleted the space that I just inserted, that destroyed the clipboard. When I paste, I just get the space. Well, this happens to a lot of people a lot of the time. And that's the danger of using the clipboard, the unnamed buffer. And we know there are 26 buffers in VI. We use some of them in EX mode. How do we use buffers to solve this problem? Well, it's a little tricky. That was forwards. So what if we wanted to put the FOR not in the unnamed buffer, but in some other buffer that has a name? Can we do that? And we can. You use a double quote, and then the name of the buffer you want. We're going to put this in buffer number Z, or name Z, and then we say 3x. And if we go down to the bottom and we press P, wow, it's there. But let's make the mistake. Space, oh, I'm wrong, XX. And then we do P, we still have the space. And you say, John, you promised me. How do I do the put from Z? You do the double quote Z, P. It's there. Okay, there's the 4. Even after we destroyed the unnamed buffer, the named buffer is still okay. And you say, I don't see anything about that in this file that I'm looking at on the screen. And you'd be right. So let's fix it. First, let's get rid of the 4. We don't really need that. So let's go back to where there's a column Y in there. How did I do that? You notice how fast I jumped. I was here, and I said I want to get back to the line that has a Y in the first column. Just do question mark, hat, Y. It jumps me right there, and then I could say X. L, 2X. And then the same thing happens with the paste. So I want to go slash hat P to find that one. And I say X. And then that's pretty good. I'm going to do a lowercase f and a P. And then I'm going to do a 2 uppercase X to delete the 2 previous. Uppercase X deletes previous. And then I need to come down to the next uppercase P. So I'm going to do slash because it's not on the same line. Uppercase, start of the line, uppercase P gets me here. And then I'm going to put in that. And I'm going to do lowercase f and the P. And then I do a semicolon. And then I do 2 uppercase X. And it's fixed. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good. Can I delete into that? Sure I can. So that's a question mark, hat D, and then we do a dot. And you say nothing happened. Right, dot only remembers the last change you made. So, whoops. escape to get out of there, F to the uppercase D, 2X, it's fixed up. Let me do a save. Do you remember how to save without leaving the file? I hope so. :W. Okay. And then in all these things, I have double quote X. But I never explained what is double quote X. So I really should use the right curly brace, boom, the jump here, and then Shift A, and I can say :X means use register named X, where X is in A.C. And then you say, oh, I want a blank line above this. Shift O, escape. I need to go 2 lines down and do that again. So 2J dot. Okay, escape. And look at that. Our file's looking pretty good. We're going to save it again. So now we can solve the problem. I mean, the DD and then the P is very convenient. Any delete and then an immediate put is convenient. But it gets lost if you do any other kind of delete or any other kind of thing like that. And so you have to worry about that unnamed clipboard all the time. It's easy to destroy. And that's why they have the named ones. If it's important, type those 2 extra characters on your yank or delete and the 2 extra characters on your put, and then you're safe. And you can save up to 26 clipboards, and after you paste, it's still there. Okay, we're out of time on this video. I want to say that I realize this looks confusing, but you can learn it, and once you learn it, you're going to be faster at your editing. Please don't give up. And until our next video, I want to thank you for listening.